So, welcome back to a little meme update. This time way earlier, just because I don't know if I have enough time for a weekly update video and a meme video on the weekend. And second, that you maybe not as financial advice, but maybe you get an idea what you want to do for next week. As always, I'm using this method here. I will explain this one more time now, but I will make for the future a small separate video and will link it in every video. Okay, so for this method here, any stock can start at any point in this. It doesn't mean that every IPO starts here. Some IPO starts here, some IPO starts here, some IPO starts here. So it always depends how you track it. But just for the example, we are starting now at the BYND. After the BYND, which is the lowest point, you're doing always the higher low. The higher low is normally, because I updated it a little bit, the higher low is always ending in a small BYND. What do I mean with it? Perfect example I have for this is FFAE. So let's jump for short into FFAE. Here. This whole thing is just higher low, which we finished. But here, it's not a 0.5 pullback, because if you take this, we're way under the 0.5. But it's a perfect V under A. Just in the tiny tracking, micro tracking, it's a perfect V under A. That's why higher low normally ends in a V under A. It can bounce in the 0.5, but normally it's at the V under A. After that, you're going to your A peak. And then you get the A pullback. For the A pullback, it normally ends in a 0.5 Fib retracement from your V under A. I mean, okay, it's bad drawn right now, but normally it ends in a V under A, and there it bounces. Or it's just a normal breakout retest of a big trend line. After that, you go to your B, and then you get a 0.5 pullback from your A low. So you would take a 0.5 from the bottom of A to the peak of B, and that would be your B bottom. And then you go to your C. After you got your C, you're doing your lower high, and then you go down and go up again to your midpoint. The important thing is here, the lower high is only finished when it's under the point where it started. The same, the M is only finished and starting under the low of the lower peak, and it has to finish in a lower low where it started. And the same for T also. And after T, your last time to sell, you go to your BYND here. Only exception is if you're in A or B, just for the micro tracking. And after that, you start the whole thing again. And normally, not always, but normally your next A and your next B are near the T and the M line. Can be over it, at it, or a little bit under it, but in the range of it. And then if you take this as macro tracking, let's say on the weekly or daily, then you can, as I showed on FFA, do A, B, C between the landmarks. That's your macro tracking. Okay. For today, I will show Highcraft Mining, Beyond, Bed Buff and Beyond, HYMC, DGT, and KOSS. And one last thing before we start. No financial advice, but just a normal advice. Don't believe me. Don't believe any other YouTubers. Only trust yourself. Take what I'm showing as not even an advice, just as an idea. Track it yourself and then decide what you want to do. Only because, for example, someone is saying next week, and only because I'm saying no, it's not next week, don't listen to it. Copy the tracking they and I am showing you. Try it yourself and then decide for yourself. Okay? So, let's start with Highcraft mining. So, for Highcraft mining, because it's also a meme stock and it's related to HYMC, you have two ways to track this. The first one is not even my method. The first one would just be symmetry tracking. And that would mean you halve the stock, take this bar pattern and flip it to the other side. This is symmetry play. And then, if it's working, it would give you this. And this right now is really perfectly tracking. And that would show you somewhere in the range of $31. That would be your next target. And at this target, you would get a pullback. In my opinion, it will be a 0.5 pullback because it would be A. And after that, the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? And the interesting thing about this is, I think the average price of HYMC's investment is around 20-ish, when I remember correctly. So I could even bet with you, when Highcraft mining is going here, you will get the news. HYMC sold their whole position to take profit. That would be the perfect news for this drop. For my tracking, this was your all-time high, lower high, midpoint, perfect T, down to your V or invisible V under A. This whole thing is just your high or low. And then you have the micro tracking. This is your little A. This is your little P. Normally you get a 0.5 pullback for your A and a 0.5 pullback for your B, but because this is micro tracking and you not really see massive pullbacks in here, I don't think we get a pullback here. Could be. I'm not playing this upside. If we're getting a 0.5 pullback here yet now at your B, that would be something down to $6, then I would play this. If not, and we're just crawling up to our big A, because here at 31 is the T line, so somewhere in this range could be the big A, then I want to play this pullback and after that the upside, because whatever we're doing now till the big A, we will get a 0.5 pullback here. And if our A is at 31, our pullback is at 7. So perfect for puts, and after that, perfect for calls. Yeah. That's for Highcraft mining. Okay, next one. BYND. Only one version, because the alternative is it was a pump and dump, we knife, delist, and it's over. For the bullish version, we finished the first fractal. CLMT, V under A, V under invisible A. So, two ways. We have two ways to see this. First of all, because, as I explained in the first minutes, here you have your V under A. This is micro tracking ABC. Here, ABC, now CLMT, again, V under A. So, levels wise, it would make sense that this whole thing is A, because here is our T. the thing that this whole thing ended in a V under A, and the thing that we are missing a higher low could really mean that this whole thing here is just our higher low. And that means that our next price target, that we're still looking for A. And that means when we go up, our price target is around 1533. Let's maybe something 20-ish or something. It has to be something over this, so something over 8, but it could also be 12. If in any reason the higher low is just included in this, then this could be already our A, just because we are near our T line. But then that means that our next target is 43, because here would be our B, here with the B and with the M line. I know it's a big difference, 15 or 43, but all in all, I'm always saying this: sell into momentum and leave some runners, just in case. But even if we're doing only 15, that would be still a 1100% run. Just saying. It was the same like here. I showed this could be that is perfectly our V under A, and we will get a little chat run here. And I bought weeklies for $2, and I sold perfectly here. Only the weeklies. I still have my February's, I think, because they were up 400%. Of course, there was a possibility that we go to $2, but always sell into momentum. You maybe miss the peak, but you're not running into the danger to miss on the whole profit. So, now for the micro tracking. Are we finished? In my opinion, there's only two alternatives. First, the higher low is finished. Perfect. We did our V under A here. Finished. We already did our higher low. Finished. We already did the breakout, which is little tiny A. Finished. And normally, you're doing a 0.5 pullback. Yeah? So our 0.5 from this little A would be 112, 113. With this drop here, we came close. This is already close enough for a bounce. So in this case, we would just go. Or this is not close enough, and you still have to go down here, bounce here, and then you go. We will see what happens today. There's only one thing why I would lean more to we are finished. And that is, if you look just what we did the last week on the 30-minute, here, and then we look on the 30-minute back to October. And here we have the same A. And if you look back and we take a 0.5 from the V to the A, also this didn't do a 0.5 pullback. And then if you look here and you just look at our A peak here and out our A peak here, we have 3 lower highs. Here, 3 lower highs. Okay, we have to go on the 50-minute for this here, just to see it. So, yeah. Not net. Okay. Maybe you have to go on the 5-minute. Yeah, on the 5-minute. That shows that the repeat of the fractal is always bigger. So, 3 lower peaks, 3 lower peaks, ending in a lower low, ending in a lower low. After that, you're doing a double peak. You're doing a double peak. And then you fall down. Then you fall down to another lower low, another lower low. And from this on, you're always doing higher lows. One little peak, which could be seen as a higher low, and then you go. And here also. Maybe I would say this is your higher low, so this would be this. So in the worst case, I would expect we're doing just nothing today. Or we're just going. Because what we would expect next is this. Take me with this, whatever you want. But just for explanation, because this will come later for everything else. Because I watch all other YouTubers also, just to get ideas, maybe stocks I didn't see. You are never squeezing from the V. Especially memes. You always need a higher low. Just say. So, for the other stocks. Okay. Next one. A bad buffer build. The bullish and the bearish. I will always only showing the bullish today because I think the bearish version is off the table. Just for the alternative, the bearish version would mean this is your T and you still have to do a new low. That would be the bearish version. The bullish version means we are right now just in our higher low. And again, as I explained in the first 5 minutes, you see the higher low isn't stopping in a 0.5 because the 0.5 was way higher, but it was bouncing at a V under A perfectly. So for the bullish version, the higher low is finished. We did our A, B, C, LMT, V under A. The only thing which in my opinion could still happen, you need the tiny higher low of this. So in that case, that yesterday was our peak, and we would still have to do a 0.5, or in that case, we're doing again a V under A, and that would be here, something by 5.55, and then we go. But that's tiny tracking. You don't have to fulfill all the rules in the tiny tracking. If you break under 549 again, yeah, then I think we will look for a new low. For targets, everything over 725 and all the odds are dead, and we're doing the bullish version. Our next target in general would be 1563, and you might get a 0.5 pullback or breakout retest here, and then you go to your B. Your B would be then at 36, but fractals are repeating themselves all the time. And we would compare this whole run we are doing next to this here. So yeah, for A, as you see, I mean, was that a 0.5? Yeah, wasn't a 0.5. But you could get a pullback at A. This would be perfect breakout retest here, just saying. So if we go up here, breakout retest, and then we would go. Would perfectly match. For B, I don't think we will get a big pullback here. We would just do this chat to our C. And the only question is, are we breaking an all-time highs or not? If you watched my videos, you saw that I was very bearish on bad beyond before I got bullish. Why? So why all of a sudden I got bullish? Just because here on the left side, we have Bed Bath & Beyond now. And let's look, Bed Bath & Beyond, let's go in the 6 hours, I think. So, and now we are looking at again 2020. The thing is, yeah, maybe we have to go even on the 1 hour. Where is my 2020? Yeah. Maybe even lower, just to make it more visible. Can we even go that low as 2020? No. 2020. 2020. Now we are coming clear. Yeah. So, the point I want to make is, we're coming from our T. When I put off extended hours, yeah, you see we have here a gap, that would be this. You see we have here a gap, that would be this. And then we make our V. We are doing our higher low. The little one. And then we go up. And here we have the perfect M or W pattern. It's the same like here. Perfect M or W pattern. We go down. We even have quite the same bounces here. Try it yourself. You even have the same bounces here. And then we have this very long V. So in my opinion, we would be right now. And remember, this is the 30-minute. I would even say in this. We would be in this here. So it is close. If right, it is close, because the next thing we're expecting is just upside. No? So much for Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay. So let's jump into DGT. Only one chart, the main version, because just to show that the bullish version was this, and it was wrong. The thing is, I tracked it at 2 separate factors, and we would start at the third one, but because we dropped too low, this version is dead. So now the only main version, the alternative, where it's just one fractal. And in my opinion, this is even more bullish. The only critical point here is, we don't know, or I don't know, if this here was A, or if A is just in this uptrending massive candle and this was already your higher low. So start with the bearish version, okay? If this was A, then we are not finished, because then we still have to drop under 994 to do the V under A, to finish it. If this was your higher low, and somewhere in this candle is your A, then we are finished. Then we did the V under A. We already finished everything else. A, B, C, here is your lower high. Here is your, and perfect example also, here is your lower high. You do a new low. So here is the lower high finished. You come up again. This is your M peak. For the M peak to be finished, you have to do a lower low than your lower peak. Then you come up again. This is your T peak. Then you have to go lower than this low to finish the T peak, which we did. The only question is, as I said, is this already V under A or not? If this is already V&A, then the only thing we are missing is a higher low, the finish of a higher low. Why I'm saying that? The point is, I can, with this, for sure, for the bullish and bearish tracking, can tell you it's not next week. Just because. Don't trust me. Don't believe me. Don't trust me. Just track it yourself back. We never squeezed from the V. We always did a higher low and then. It was the same in September 2024. Let's look, 8 hours. Yeah, it was the same in April 2024. Higher low, and then we go. It was the same in, where is it? Yeah, it was the same in March 2024. Higher low, and then we go. It was also the same in January 2024. V, higher low, and then we go. It was the same in June 2023. V, higher low, and then we go. It was the same in November 2022. V, higher low, and then we go. Just saying, if anybody, just my opinion, you don't have to believe me, if anyone is telling you this time it's different, blah, 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 we can squeeze off the V, especially in the DJT. We never did that in the last 4 or 5 years. Never. Every squeeze we got in DJT, and there are a lot of ones, we never squeezed from the bottom. Never. Why should we do it now? It's always the same. Also here, we squeeze from the bottom. We squeeze from the bottom. You always hear that. How many times these people who are telling you we can squeeze from the V were right? How many times? I can tell you, I can already give you the answer, 0, because it never happened. Okay? So just one thing, if this all is true, because you see, especially in DGT, the higher lows are tiny. Just in case, this here could be this little shit here. This could be your bounce from the higher low. Could. Okay? That would mean, yeah, next week you start to run. Okay? So maybe get into a position. Or we still need to finish it. And you still, because this would be a really tiny one. But if it's doing something like this, it would look better. Or we really need a new low, because this wouldn't be V&A. But for levels, just for levels, everything over 70, 87 is absolutely bullish. And our next targets, our A would be at 57, our B at 97. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? And to say this, if we look at all the squeezes we did in the past, I really don't think we will see something like this, because this also we never did. So in that case, we would just do something stupid like this. Okay. Good. That's for DJT. Let's jump to AMC. Wait, was that the right chart? No, I think this was the right chart. Yeah. So here our beautiful AMC. Nothing really changed to my last meme video. I will just repeat everything. So without my tracking. We start just with patterns. And pattern-wise, AMC is just a big megaphone. In 2020, we touched the megaphone downtrend once. The second time before the squeeze, we didn't touch it anymore. So here, we touched the megaphone in April 2024. I don't think we will touch it again. Maybe the bottom for AMC is not in yet and we still need a new low, but even then, I don't think we will come down here. And for the upside, in 2020, we touched the upper trend line for the megaphone. So it makes for me absolutely sense that our next all-time highs will be in this area. It is stupid, especially if you look at percentage rises, because it would be 28,000%. But I already saw other stocks running 15,000% in one day. So it's not impossible. Okay. For targets. Let's talk for targets. Two versions. The first version would be you have here your V. First part squeeze of AMC in 2020 was your A with a 0.5 pullback. The second one, the B, is somewhere in the chat test, and then you already got your lower high, your all-time high. Then you did your lower high, your M. And for the absolute bullish version, this was your T. And right now we are, because this isn't the real VNA, this right now, if the bottom is in, was your VNA. So your next target would be A pullback, B, no pullback, C. And to make that now absolutely clear, I could be wrong, but I am one of the persons who are thinking about the two-part squeeze. The first part would start in the next 1 or 2 months, most likely. The second part, next year, June. Just because I know there are so many people who are saying, yeah, this time is different and we have to do a one-part squeeze till January, blah, blah, because then the market is crashing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, maybe the market is crashing. Doesn't matter. AMC and HYMC will do whatever they want. And we're just repeating. We're repeating the fractal. And we did a two-part squeeze the first time. To say this time is different again just tells me, okay, if it's different this time, you are not allowed to track the past. You're just not allowed to. If this time is different, yeah, then show me tracking why without using the past. So I really expect our A would be something around 120 to, let's say, 60, and then you will get a 0.5 pullback. Here, breakout retest. Then you're doing this shit, and then you go. I'm not against a one-part squeeze. Just saying, perfect. If you do that, perfect. But again, for my follower, I'm not saying I'm 90% or 100% convinced that it is a one-part squeeze. Because as I already said last time in my meme video, what if you're getting a pullback here? And if I tell you it's a one-part squeeze, 100%. Some people won't sell and will lose everything again. And I really don't want to be that asshole. Just that. But I'm still really leaning to a two-part squeeze. Okay. So now for the tiny tracking. And that's very important. Just for April till now, we also finished everything. We have our V, our high, low, A, B, C. We already did our lower peak. our M, our T, and now our VNA. Now comes the important part. Did we already finish our higher low? Yes or no? The thing is, it could. It could. Higher low could be finished. But, and there's always a but, here also to say it's 100% next week. We squeeze from the V. We just look back into the past. So, let's look. 2020. Did we squeeze from the V? No. We did a higher low. Here, higher low, and then we squeezed. How long did this take? This took us 9 days. Then we just look back a little bit further into May 2024. Did we squeeze from the bottom? No. Did we squeeze from the higher low? Yes. How long did this take us? 24 days. Next squeeze. This year, May. Did we squeeze from the higher low? From the V? No. We squeezed from the higher low and we even did the channel. But how long did it took us from the V to the higher low? 26 days. So even without the uptrending channel, even without it, if this is our bottom, we have to go at least 26 days, maybe even 28 days, because if you remember, the first in 2024 was 24, this year 26, it makes sense that the next one is 28. So, and where are we in 28 days? Friday the 19th. I know. So many people are now hyped because next week are rate cuts. And I think OPEX also or some bullshit like that. And that is because we have to squeeze. In my opinion, I can tell you no. Not next week. End of December. Maybe. If you're taking even longer, January. And if even taking longer, yeah. Let's see what happens till then. And what convinces me to this even more is if I look at GME, just for this little micro tracking here, just for this iteration here, we have here our V, June 2025, higher low, A, B, C, M, and this right now would just be our T. To finish this T, we have to go lower than 19.61. Could be wrong. If we just break out here, fine. But for my tracking, I think we have to go lower than this. And I could easily see a massive knife on earnings. Just without fundamentals. Try it yourself. And yeah. So for AMC, if this is the bottom, we are close. Okay. There's still a possibility we have to do a new lower low, something at 190-ish. But then also, even if we get that, we still have to do the higher low. And then it's just as we count the 26, 28 days. But for me, it's not next week. Could be wrong. Hate me or hate me not. Or even hate me, call me a liar, wait for next week. If we didn't squeeze next week, come back again, look at the method again and try it yourself. Okay, last one, KOSS. So for KOSS, I have two versions. The second version for KOSS, I'm not really showing it in detail because it would be absolutely bearish one. And that would mean that KOSS has to go under $1, and this will take at least 10 or 15 years. So even I don't believe that. Yeah, but always have an alt. For the bullish version, January 1985 was the ending of the first fractal. We didn't see everything because the IPO was here, but for the tracking, this was the ending of the first fractal. From 1984 till 2000 was just our higher low. It's a massive, massive ticker. From January 2020 till April 2024, this was just our big A. And right now, we're still in the start for our B. And here comes the stupid thing. Because I could really think that this whole thing here is just higher low. This whole thing is just higher low. The problem with this is that would mean we still have to come down here. 383, and then we go. But we should start it. We really should start it. If not, because KOSS is so absolutely moving slow. If not, this here was your higher low, and we're already in the breakout. A pullback is finished, and like AMC and GME, we are close and ready to break out. And to say this, the next target is something over 128 for KOSS. It has to go over A. So something like this. Then again, a multi-year long pullback for B, like A. And even then we go even higher, because then we still need RC. But I think nobody will look at it and back it. But okay, good. That was it for the memes update. If you have questions, write it in the comments. If you liked it, give me a like. And as I said, don't believe me, don't believe them. Backtrack them, backtrack me. Use the tracking yourself and decide. Don't trust anybody, especially the people who are saying since 3-4 years it's next week. Okay, so let's see what will happen today during the market and next week. See ya.